Hey everyone, welcome to the Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevietpfl. It is Wednesday, July 9th. It is 2025. We have a 11 game MLB slate to talk about here on today's podcast. Nice little Wednesday slate. Sorry I missed everyone yesterday. I had a awful headache, and when I woke up, it was like 3 a.m. from taking a little nap. So wasn't going to podcast at 3 a.m. Definitely excited to be back and get back in the groove of things here. I am a Blue Jays win away from having a good night in the betting world. DFS world did not go great. Very heavy on onion on I said onion. Very heavy on Hunter Brown. That wasn't fun. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. Even like I have some A's stacks, and I don't think it's going to matter with the Brown exposure. So hope everyone's having a great Tuesday night over there in the YouTube chat. And I'm going to jump in and break down these 11 games that we have for Wednesday. We get started with the Mets and the Orioles. This game is currently sitting at 9.5. The Mets a 157 favorite. Peterson and Sagano facing off against each other here. Brian, need an RBI from Marte. Well, I hope you get an RBI from Marte. We can root for each other here. We will start with Peterson. Like, I don't actually hate this spot for Peterson. I think that when you're looking at this matchup, just in general, this is a team that is very beatable with left-handed pitching. And if they do leave in like 3 or 4 of these lefties, that offers a little bit more ceiling for Peterson. So I think this is a spot that if you want to take some shots on him, I don't hate it. I know he's 9K, but I think his upside is definitely going to be determined by how many lefties they have in the lineup. I still think like matchup wise and like downside is not something you're necessarily too concerned about here. So I like Peterson. Like I said, I think he has upside in this matchup. No one in this lineup has an ISO over 150 outside of Cedric Mullins, and he's lefty. And Peterson is just elite against left-handed hitters. So I think Peterson has the upside to be one of the highest scoring pitchers on the slate right off the bat here. Other side of this game, Sagano, like he's such a low strikeout guy, 14.4%, 4.5% walks. So he does a really good job of limiting the damage. He does a great job of limiting the damage, but not walking people. The Blue Jays White Sox has been called due to rain. Nice. I like that. That ends my betting night really good. Sagano is not somebody I want to play. His upside is just so limited with the lack of strikeouts. This is a team that doesn't strike out a lot. So this is a spot where I think we could potentially take some shots in the Mets. It seems like a very high contact spot. I hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I was rooting for that. Red Sox A stack. All right, easy. We're rooting for that. My wife was asking me a question. So I think this is a spot you can look at the Mets. A lot of, like I said, a lot of contact in this matchup. I definitely prefer lefties against Sagano. So Nimmo, Soto, Winker, McNeil, and Lindor. I didn't mean to leave Lindor out, but I mean, if you're playing the Mets, you're definitely playing one or Pete Alonso as well. On the other side, I mean, I really just don't like the Orioles. Like I was saying with Peterson, it's such a great matchup for Peterson. I think this is a spot you kind of stay away from the bats for Baltimore. Just don't see a lot of upside. Like I said, only Mullins has an ISO over 150. Seattle at New York facing the Yankees, 9.5 total in this one. We got Evans versus Schlitter. Littler, maybe Schlittler. I'm pretty sure Cam Schlittler. We'll start with Evans on the other side first. Always do the visiting pitcher first. Evans is a low strikeout guy that doesn't have a huge ceiling, doesn't have a huge like upside range. So I think this is a spot I would probably stay away from him. I think that you're going to find better options on the slate, especially in this matchup. I don't know why I'm yawning so much like lately. It's crazy. So I did some research on Cam Schlittler. And he is not like a terrible prospect. He's like 10th in the Yankees organization. From what I read, really good fastball, really good slider combination. We'll see how that translates into the bigs, but big swinging strike rate in the minor league level this season. His strikeout rate over 30% this year in the minors system. So, I mean, he potentially has the upside. It's just for me, I don't know how much I love the matchup. Like the heart of this lineup is really good. I kind of want to see what we're looking at. Like he has 99 strikeouts and 76 innings in the minors this year. I want to see what ownership we're kind of looking at here. But right-handed pitching against this lineup is kind of scary to me. Rosarina starting to hit better. Polanco, Canzone. Obviously, Kyle Riley has been one of the better power hitters in baseball this year. So I want to see how all that kind of works. As far as the bats for Seattle, it's a young pitcher making his first start. It's a stack or fade spot for me. I think you're potentially looking at like the middle, the heart of this lineup: Riley, Rosarina, Polanco, Rayleigh, Canzone. If you're stacking them, Evans has struggled with right-handed power this year, so a little bit of a bump to like Judge and Stanton. He's not great against lefties either, so I think this is a spot, especially in this ballpark, you could play some of these lefties, Dominguez, Bellinger, Jazz. I think both of these stacks are playable overall on this slate. The 9.5 total definitely suggests that like Vegas is expecting some runs in this game as well. So I think this is a game you could look at for some bats. Check the weather. I know I don't talk about weather. I talk about this all the time, but I don't talk about weather all the time because it's going to change so much prior to from like right now, night before till lock is going to change so much. So I just break down the games. Colorado at Boston, 9 total in this game. The Red Sox, a ginormous 308 favorite. Giolito and Sensatella. Butler hit another one. I was on Expert Survey for Roto Grinders today, and he was my home run call on Expert Survey today. go to Sensatella first. Obviously, I don't like the spot for him. The Red Sox definitely getting it rolling in this series. Rockies bullpen, nothing to write home about. They're bottom 5 in a lot of statistics. So Sensatella is a guy I definitely want to play bats against. So we're going to talk about the Red Sox bats in just a second. Yeah, great spot for the Red Sox bats. Don't want to play Sensatella. Other side of this game, Lucas Giolito, obviously we like the matchup. He has been pitching a lot better recently. 4 of his last 5 starts have been really strong. So I think Giolito is someone that we're looking at when we're considering matchup just overall and what he's been doing recently. So he's thrown at least 6 innings in 5 straight. He has at least 5 strikeouts in 4 of his last 5. And his last 2 starts, he's gone over 100 pitches. So it's good to see Giolito kind of finding some form here. As a Red Sox fan, it's good. So I like this spot for Giolito. I think he'll end up being pretty popular. I'm perfectly good with this one. As far as the bats for the Rockies, I mean, Moniak is okay. Goodman, righty power against Giolito, typically okay, but I think I'll pass overall. I like the Red Sox bats in this one. I want to pick on Sensatella. Obviously, like looking at the bats here, Abreu, Duran, Story, Anthony hit his first Red Sox Fenway home run the other night. I like the Red Sox. Just about anybody that cracks the lineup is going to be playable for me. Toro has been good in a Red Sox uniform this year, so I like the Sox. I think this is a good spot to keep going to them here. Miami at Cincinnati is where we go next. This game is currently sitting at 8.5. The Reds are a 144 favorite. We have Alcantara and Abbott facing off against each other in this one. We'll start here with Sandy Alcantara. Like, we know this guy has a lot of talent. Obviously, he is not 100% back from his injury. He struggled. This is a beatable Reds lineup, but like the walks, the control, the command, all of that makes me really question taking shots on him. The price is nice, but I think overall I'll probably end up passing on him on the slate. Andrew Abbott on the other side of this game. So the Marlins have been okay against right-handed pitching. Like they've been very serviceable against right-handed pitching. But left-handed pitching, this team has struggled. They're bottom 10 in a lot of statistics, WRC plus. I think WOBA, they are like 18th, so not like necessarily bottom. ISO bottom 10. Strikeout rate is okay. So I mean, it's an okay matchup for Abbott. Price-wise, when you're looking at Abbott, I think the price overall for him on this slate is interesting. Like, we're going to talk about Bubic. I think I'd find the extra 500 for Bubic or go down to Peterson or Giolito. So I don't necessarily dislike this spot for Abbott, but with that being said, I don't know. I'm just kind of on the fence about playing him here because of the same range of players. Maybe there's some weather, and I think he's an option. I'm probably not playing 150 lineups today, so I just don't know if he's going to be a guy that makes like a 3-entry build for me. We'll see. Maybe. I wouldn't talk you off of him. I don't want you to think that I don't like this spot. I like the spot. Cubs and Twins, 9 total. Pick'em game. Horton and Festa facing off against each other. We'll go to Cade Horton here first, coming off a really decent start against Cleveland. when you're looking at like his overall numbers, he's done an okay job limiting power to lefties, not really walking a ton of hitters, but he just doesn't have a huge like strikeout ceiling. Minnesota is a team that they have some good bats against right-handed pitching. They have some power. They don't strike out a ton. I like the price tag on Horton, but I don't trust it at all, I think is the best way to put it. Woods Richardson. Oh, man, tilted me a little bit. I thought the Cubs were going to beat up on Woods Richardson. Festa here. I mean, Festa is above average strikeout pitcher since the beginning of last year. So the matchup is tough. The Cubs are such a hot and cold offense. I mean, if you look at the numbers for the last like month for them, they're still really good. I don't think I want to play David Festa in this spot. I think I like some of the other options better. I don't think Festa's a bad pitcher, like a real life pitcher, and I probably won't stack against him here. I just think that there's better matchups today. If I was going to play bats against him, it'd be like Suzuki, PCA, Bush, that like 3-man combo right there. I mentioned Suzuki because Festa has some reverse power splits. So Suzuki, who has power against right-handed pitching, that like 3-man, obviously you could always throw in like Tucker and Happ if you want to go full 5-man. When Cade Horton has struggled this year, it's been right-handed power. So I think Byron Buxton as a one-off. He has a lot of upside today. He's just really expensive, and I don't know if we're really getting $6,300 Byron Buxton in our lineups as a one-off. So, I mean, Carlos Correa, I don't hate that, but I definitely prefer like Correa against lefties. Buxton has right-handed power against righties. If for some reason Harrison Bader cracks the lineup, he has a little bit of power against righties as well. They don't play him every day. They do platoon him a lot. But if he did get a start here, I don't hate it. Pittsburgh at Kansas City. This game has an 8.5 total. The Royals a 199 favorite in this one. Bader homered tonight. There you go. Falter against Bubic in this one. Going to Bailey Falter first. I mean, I do like left-handed pitching against this team. I talk about it all the time. They don't walk. They have okay strikeouts. They don't have a lot of power against lefties. The problem with Falter is like just doesn't really have any strikeout upside. I think he's only gone over 5 strikeouts once this year, and he's been pitching terrible recently. So recent form's not great. He's really struggling. The walks have been an issue. I just don't see it. I could see why you would do it with lefties against Kansas City, but overall, I probably don't get to him today. Chris Bubic on the other side, I like him a lot. One of my favorite pitchers on the slate. Love left-handed pitchers against the Pirates. They really struggle against lefties. So, all the same reasons that I liked Noah Cameron a day ago. He has more strikeout upside than Noah Cameron. So, definitely think Chris Bubic is in play. One of the top pitchers on the slate for me here at first look. If you're going to pick on him, it'd be Brian Reynolds or Nick Gonzalez, but I'm probably going to lean on the Bubic side a lot more. Falter is hittable. Garcia would probably be my favorite, and Witt, like always, can play Witt. But Garcia at 4,400 seems like a really fair price tag for this matchup. So I don't mind, playing some one-offs in this spot more than anything else. Washington at St. Louis. This game is currently sitting oh man, Angel Martinez just hit a grand slam in Houston, and it was only 334 feet. Oh, that's crazy. Only a home run in Houston. Washington at St. Louis, 8 total in this one. Pick 'em game. Gore and Palante facing off against each other. I mean, strikeout ceiling wise, Mackenzie Gore probably has this highest strikeout ceiling on the slate. This guy is just 30.5%. St. Louis is a team that tends to struggle with left-handed pitching more than they struggle with right-handed pitching. Like, a lot of the stats are okay for them, but they're definitely way better against right-handed pitching. Their power goes down against lefties. So I think Gore is obviously a ceiling play. I think him and Bubic are very similar today. I think Bubic probably has a little bit better matchup than Gore, but I think Gore has a higher ceiling strikeout-wise. So I think Gore is definitely someone you want to get in some lineups here on the slate. Palante, ground ball guy, just, I mean, he has a craft. Like, he's a better Miles Mikolas. He just goes out. He doesn't strike anybody out. He just generates a ton of ground balls. And the one thing that really benefits him in this matchup is Washington doesn't really have any like power fly ball hitters. Wood, Abrams, Bell, these guys are ground ball hitters. So should get a lot of ground balls in this spot for Palante. I probably don't play him. But I could see him kind of limiting the damage in this matchup. So with that being said, as far as the bats are concerned, I don't really have a ton of interest in the Washington bats, and it's more of, I just think that Palante does a really good job of limiting the damage in this game. And then on the other side of this one, I'll play Contreras against lefties. I'll play Herrera. Both the catchers, I think, are both in play. I mean, yes, Contreras first base, but Herrera is on the IL. I forgot that. That's my bad. I don't like Pozo as much. If he does play, you could play him at 2,500 as a punt catcher, but I think that I definitely lean more on the St. Louis side of this game. Speaking of Houston, Cleveland at Houston, taking on the Astros in this one. This game is currently at an 8 total. The Astros a minus 144 favorite. Saccone against Walter in this one. Slade Saccone. I mean, his strikeout stuff has been pretty good this year. He's been a lot better against right-handed hitters than he has against left-handed hitters. Houston can get a few lefties in there now, but they still aren't great left-handed hitters. I probably don't play Saccone today because the walks and the home runs are an issue. But I could see why you would take some shots on him when you're looking at his advanced numbers and how good he is against righties. The other side of this one, Walter. All right, lost my train of thought. Brandon Walter. Walter's a strike thrower. That's what he's really good at. He doesn't walk hitters. He throws a lot of strikes, and he struggles with home runs. He's like an average strikeout pitcher at best. Struggles with power righties, which benefits him in this matchup because they don't have any power righties outside of Jose Ramirez. I wish he was a little bit cheaper. I wouldn't necessarily leave him out of my player pool if I was playing like a 20-inch max build on this slate or 150. I love the matchup, but there is a bat for Cleveland that I think you could definitely take some shots on today, and that's Stevietpfl. Walter really struggles with power righties. I know Fry's numbers are down a little bit this year, but I think this is a spot you could take some shots on Fry at 2,600 at a punt catcher price. On the Houston side, I don't know, like Walker out now. I don't love anybody here. Hummel's 3K. I don't think I get to these bats for Houston. Maybe. Texas at LA taking on the Angels. 9 total in this game. The Texas Rangers a slight favorite in this one. Rocker against Hendricks. We'll start with Kumar Rocker here. I mean, he really struggles with left-handed power. He's been really good against righties this year. He's very splitsy. His team has a lot of right-handed power. Overall, they did recently add like Lamont Wade to give them another lefty, but just not a lot of left-handed power in this lineup. I don't know if I played Kumar Rocker all year, but this might be one of those spots if his strikeout prop comes in at like 4.5 that I might be looking at the over. I think he has some strikeout upside in this matchup. He has a 17% K rate against lefties, a 24.2% K rate against righties. His ISO drops a lot. His WOBA drops a lot. He generates more ground balls. Just overall, his stats, righties, lefties, very, very splitsy. Definitely play him against right-handed lineups, which the Angels have, and they strike out a lot. So I'm on the fence on Rocker, whether or not I'll need him. I'm not on the fence on Kyle Hendricks. No chance. Way below average strikeout pitcher, just not there. I mean, it's just not anywhere near where he once was. So he'll have a good game every once in a while, but overall, I'm out. If I'm going to pick on Hendricks, it's Garcia, it's Langford, it's Seager, it's Smith. I like right-handed power against Kyle Hendricks. It's kind of reverse splitsy this year. So Langford and Garcia definitely standing out to me in this lineup. Stack or fade for me on the Angels. I think this is a better spot for Rocker, but I also don't think Rocker is a great hitter. So I'm probably going to be out on the, okay. I don't think Rocker is like a dominant pitcher, but I like him against righties is kind of what I was trying to say. I know I kind of messed up what I was trying to say there, but there's a lot of right-handed power in this lineup. Oh, Moncada's back, so maybe Moncada is a one-off against Rocker. I like left-handed power against him. So Moncada, only 3K. That seems like a really good price point for him. I forgot that he was back. He got activated today, right? On Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so he got back on Tuesday. I like the price tag a lot for Moncada in this matchup. Arizona at San Diego. 8 total in this game. The Padres is a 140 favorite. We got Cease and Fayat facing off against each other here. Fought, like, I don't know. He's not a bad pitcher, like real life pitcher. He's just not a great DFS pitcher. This is a tough lineup for him. I think I'm going to pass on Brandon Pfaadt today. I'm on the fence on Cease. This lineup is really good. They don't strike out a ton. He struggles with home runs. This game's in San Diego, which definitely benefits him. He's really been struggling lately. He hasn't put together a lot of good starts. 14 earned runs over his last 4 starts. He's allowed back-to-back games with multiple home runs. I don't know. Like, we know Cease is so much better than he's been pitching, but really, like, his upside has kind of been capped this year, and this team doesn't strike out a ton. So, with the way that he's pitching and the ownership on this slate, I could see stack in Arizona. I would like to stack a lot more if this game was in Arizona. Cease likes to give up the long ball. Carroll, Naylor, Marte, Gurriel, Suarez. I think Carroll, was it Carroll that got robbed by Mitchell, or Mitchell that robbed Carroll? Like, I can't remember. It was one of the vice versas for them. Happened before as I was researching, I saw a tweet. As far as the San Diego bats go, I mean, Pfaadt is definitely hittable, especially with like lefty and righty power. So Tatis, Machado, Merle, Sheets, I think is what you're looking at overall. And we finished it out with the Braves and the Athletics. 10.5 total in this game. Atlanta 132 favorite. I know I've kind of gone fast on this podcast, but I feel like sometimes when you're like going through, this like slate, you're just like you just like stuff and you don't like stuff, and that definitely seems like one of those slates for me. Elder and Spence. Did I say total 10.5? Braves 132 favorite. I don't know if I said that or not. I'll say it again. On the Atlanta side, we have Elder. The Braves are desperately going to need Bryce Elder to pitch well here. They had to go to the bullpen super early on Tuesday. The problem with them is Elder has not been pitching great. He really struggles with lefties and walks and command. We could see a repeat. This could be a spot where Athletics go off again. So I'm out on Bryce Elder. He's just giving up home runs. And this ballpark with this power, I'm out. Mitch Spence on the other side of this game. Check Acuna status. I know that like he didn't play on Tuesday, dealing with like some lower back tightness. So we'll see if he's in there or not. But overall, I don't want to play Mitch Spence. He has been a little bit better against righties, and this lineup is going to be pretty right-handed heavy, but the righties in this lineup are still very good. As far as the Atlanta bats go against Spence, I like Olsen a lot. Love left-handed power against Spence. I don't mind like a Riley or a Murphy, but I think Olsen is the guy you're really looking at for Atlanta. I like the athletic stack going right back to the well. Elder, below average strikeout, struggles with command, struggles with power to both sides of the plate. Butler, Kurtz, Rooker, Bangalier, Soderstrom, all of them. Nick Kurtz is living up to the hype. You know, we talked about him a lot when he got first called up, but he's living up to the hype. Hit another bomb. So his total bases has been like a staple for me against bad right-handed pitching, and I'll definitely be looking at his total bases bet again here against Bryce Elder. All right, kind of cruise through that one. Definitely, Derek's like, you're in mid-season form. Yeah. Just one of those slates where like I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like kind of slates. So I feel like those are the slates that I can kind of go a little bit faster. Yeah, Kurtz is having a big night. And like his total bases was like plus 125, and it's just a bet that I keep looking at. All right, morning grind game. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button over there on the Morning Grind YouTube page, youtube.com/@morninggrind. Oh, Brian, I was hoping Marte got that RBI for you. Under 8K to get 6 or more strikeouts. I mean, okay, so I wrote this name down pre-show. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Rocker gets the strikeouts today. Might not be clean and pretty, but I think he has some strikeout upside. Over 8K to score under 15. My bust today. I'm going to go to Dylan Cease. Just really kind of been struggling lately. Over 4K to hit a home run. I'm going to go to my Red Sox here and go Abreu. Hits home run number 18 on the season here. Under 4K to get 10 plus points. I'm going to go to Moncada. I really like the price tag for him. I think this is a good upside spot for him against Rocker. Stack to score 6 or more runs. I mean, I love the Red Sox today. I feel like that one is kind of cheating. They would be my top stack on the slate. But I'm going to go Athletics against Elder to finish out the night. They'll be our late night hammer here. Hopefully it works out. I have not looked at Thursday slate. Let me pull up Thursday slate really quick. See if we're back Thursday. Oh, there's a 7-game slate on Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope everyone has a fantastic Wednesday. Back tomorrow talking some more baseball. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you then.